to do some styling videos for you guys, so you can start to learn some different ways that you can style your outfits. I know one of the hardest things to do is to figure out how to put pieces together and make them look good. So the most important piece of looking good in what you're wearing is that you feel good in it. So it doesn't even particularly matter if someone else thinks the items look good together. It's how you feel inside your body that starts to translate outward into the things that you wear. So that's the most important thing, is feeling comfortable in the clothes that you're wearing. And I don't want to lose sight of that as we talk about styling and do's and don'ts, because overall the main component is that you feel good in what you're wearing. My daughter wears all kinds of crazy funky outfits, and she feels completely confident and comfortable in her body, and that works for her. Someone else may not enjoy that same style, and that's okay. So just remembering that. Today I just have on leggings, and I have an Irma on, and then it was chilly, so one of the easiest ways to style your Sarah is to put a Joy on underneath, and it just adds a little layering effect. And I wanted to talk to you guys about the length of these, because I am on the shorter side. I'm 5'3", 5'3" and a half, and sometimes they can be a little bit long on me. And so this is actually a medium, so the length isn't so bad, but all the mediums don't necessarily work for me. It depends on how the fabric is, whether or not I can get my arms to fit into it. So what I've done here on the Joy is just tied it at the bottom, and this is just a real simple thing you can do if it's a little bit long and making you look a little shorter. You just tie the bottoms, and it just gives you that illusion of being a little bit taller. Another thing that some people like to do instead is to gather the fabric inside the pocket, and then you take a hair tie, and I'm actually going to use a clip here because I forgot my hair ties, and you just put that hair tie on that fabric, so it creates, ooh, I have money in my pocket. How rich am I? Ooh, 3 pennies. So it creates that illusion of length on the body. And you still have pocket. I still have enough pocket that I can put my hands in. But I've created a silhouette and some lines in the front so that it doesn't appear as long. So I have a little bit more length to me. Now you can, if you're doing this and you have the Joy on underneath, if you're definitely going to wear the 2 pieces together, you can gather that Joy fabric in with the Sarah fabric. And just gather that up together. And then you've got your Joy is now in that line as well. I did that a little bit. Scoot it over a little bit. So then I look taller, and I've still got my layers. I've still got my fun here, but you can see the difference on the other side if you leave the Joy out, how it looks. And you can still do that little, this is still tied, so it's still laying pretty much together. This is probably how I would wear it, just because it's a little bit easier to take off. If I want to leave my Joy on, I like the Joys because they help to hide my the things that I don't want to show off. So we all have things that we want to accentuate on our body and things that we want to downplay on our body. And my stomach is one of the things that I like to downplay. So the Joys and the Sarahs for me make me feel like I can breathe a little bit easier. Like somehow I imagine that if I suck my stomach in, it goes away. I know it really doesn't, but I feel like when I have the Sarah on, I can breathe a little easier. So, so that's the easiest way to shorten it. And then if you are a taller gal, the best thing to do is you want to look for those, some of the fabrics hang a little bit heavier, and so it pulls it a little bit longer. So that can help you. And then there's different ways, let me take this one off here, that you can create those illusions too with the patterns that you choose. Like the solids and the striped ones, the ones that have the vertical, I don't think I have any right now. The ones that have the vertical designs are going to make you appear a little bit longer. These kind of lines, even though I love this particular one, these kind of lines can make shorter gals shorter and a little bit squatter. So just being aware of some of those things as you're shopping for your Sarahs, but don't be afraid to try things on too, because sometimes you might be surprised at how something looks and feels on you. So one of my favorite ways to wear Sarah is with jeans. And I have a Randy on. I love the Randy with jeans, the classics with jeans, even the Irma. It's just a different kind of look for your shirts than your leggings. And I've just dressed it up a little bit with a Sarah that has some pretty little flowers on it. So it matches my Randy. And it just gives the whole outfit a polished, more complete look. And again, I can play with these if I want to make it so that I don't look quite so short in my giant Sarah. I can play with these again and play with that height on the front and just change it up a little bit. Still got my pockets. Or you might even try playing with it like we do our Carlies, and you can gather it a little bit higher. And this might look silly because I have my clip and not a hair tie, but whoops. And this you can do too, maybe if you just want it to fall off the body a little bit and show your shape a little bit more. And again, you would use hair ties and not these clips, so you wouldn't have clips hanging off your body. But it just pulls it back a little bit so that it's not covering up your whole shape. And then this can make you look a little bit taller too if you're on the shorter side. And again, if you are taller, you might just want to show off some of your awesome curves. So those are some little tricks you can do. And then one of the easiest ways to change up our outfits is using different Sarahs. So, honest truth, sometimes I wear the same clothes 2 days in a row. Do you guys ever do that? And it's real easy to fool your friends into thinking that it's a totally new outfit. You throw on a different Sarah, and we change our accessories a little bit. And we've got a completely different look. So somebody might think, she wore red yesterday, but overall I've changed my look completely. So I have a whole new style here, just by changing my Sarah. And again, you can layer your Sarahs with your Joys, and it adds just a little bit of depth, a little bit of fun. Let's find, here's one. So I want to make this outfit a little bit more flirty. So I'm going to pull on a Joy first. And so this is what I could wear, you know, once I get to wherever I'm going, to the party. I'm going to take off my Sarah and hang out in my Joy, because it gets a little hot when you're inside at the gatherings. But if I get a little chilly or go outside, I'm going to pull my Sarah on. And it just gives this little, especially when you've got those solid shirts underneath, it just gives that little bit of pop of color. I don't know if I'd wear the hat with it. But it's just kind of playful. It's kind of fun. And then you can play around, again, with your lengths and tying. You can even try tying the bottom pieces together. We can see what that looks like. We can gather the fabric in the pocket again, or we can pull it away from the body and tack it up at the top. Lots of different things that you can play with your Sarah. But there we've got 3 new looks using just 2 Sarahs. And we've changed our outfit completely. Another one of my favorite looks for Sarah is to wear it with a Carly, so it dresses it up a little bit. You can dress it down too if you put some leggings on underneath, some comfy shoes. If you want to dress it up, you can throw a Cassie on underneath, so I've got a little pop of color coming through. And what I like to do, because I have this like monochromatic gray look going on, which is fine, but you can put that pop of color underneath with your Cassie or an Azure, or even, you know, any of the skirts will peek out from underneath. And I'm just going to tie, I don't know if it'll work on this one because the material is really slinky, but you just tie, and then I tuck the back of that ponytail is tucked inside my bra, so it's not going to go anywhere. So then this just, oops, comes undone. Well, let's try that again. So what it's going to do is it's just going to gather some of that fabric, and it's going to define my shape a little bit more, and it's also going to allow, I need to pull it up a little bit higher to do that, but it'll allow a little bit of your Cassie color to show too. So you've got a little pop of color happening at the bottom, so it's just a little bit fun. And it just creates a nice look. So I'm a little bit dressier than I was. And I'm going to take that out. And I'll show you another way you can change your monochromatic look. So I'm going to use this same Sarah. I'm going to style it a little bit with another Joy. So I would not keep the Cassie that I have on with this. This is an orange Joy and a red Cassie. But you're not going to be able to see it, that Cassie underneath. So this just gives a little pop of color, peeking out too. So you get some lines on the body, and then you're also giving that little bit of color. And again, you can play with your height here if I'm feeling a little bit short. I don't feel so short in the mediums, but large is actually my preferred Sarah size. So I can play with that. I've got my Joy tied at the bottom, so they're going to lay together. And it just gives me a little bit of fun. A little punch of color, and then you can throw on some fun jewelry. You can, you know, play with things and make them your own. Nobody wants to look exactly like their neighbor. You want to have a little bit of your own style. So those pieces that you fall in love with, that you accentuate your clothes with, can really make an impact on your whole outfit. So we can change that up. We can add something to pull the orange in. Lots of different things you can do. You can also, if you don't have a joy, you can use a scarf to bring in a little bit of color. You can do things like different pins that you might want to put on your Sarah. Different things to play around with expressing your unique voice. I think the grays on this are not going to match, but you can change your Sarah, change your outfit, and we can really change it up. I'm going to wear it 3 days in a row. I can get one of these fun guys. This is one of my favorite Sarahs. So it just adds, like, I've got a very basic gray Carly on, and I'm just adding a little bit of fun to it. Just a little bit of uniqueness, a little bit of me. This one is a large, so it does tend to make me look a little bit on the short side. I think I left my clips in this one. So I'll show you what the large looks like clipped. You can see the difference. So I'm just going to gather that fabric and clip it, and you can use hair ties. You don't have to have clips in your pocket. It's just easier when I'm changing in and out of these to use the clips. So then I've got a little bit of fun on my Sarah. I can still use my pocket, but I look a little bit taller. I don't look like I'm as swamped by it. And again, you might, with the large, I might clip here too, so that it's pulling it away and not covering me completely. It just depends on your preference. Some people like to take the Sarah and kind of hide in it. Just depends on how you want to wear it. So those are some tips and tricks on how to style your Sarah. I hope that you guys found some helpful tidbits in there, and I hope that you experiment with wearing different Sarahs. Really try those patterned ones and see how it can change up your outfit, and just have fun. And remember to be you, be unique, and let your confidence show from your heart out.